Thank you so much for joining us on Yokayi Footy. It's such a pleasure to have you with us. We always like to ask our guests for the very first time, who is your mob?
It's great being here, thanks. My mob are Malanjali from just south of Brisbane, where I grew up on Yagara and Turrbal country. And so my mum's mum and my mum's dad, they're both Aboriginal. So we belong to the Curry and Williams families. And my dad's Dutch, so he has a big family in the Netherlands. So have a big mob of family on both the Aboriginal and Dutch side.
We have this marvellous book in front of us. Your latest body of work, of course, Personal Score, debuted in May this year, but I know that journey was quite a long process for you to write. What was that like for you?
I think it was, I really relied on a lot of emotional support from family and friends, because it's a big book and it did take a while, but I think, it really comes from those early memories of being young. So I'm super into all sports, but my my number one love is soccer, and I grew up playing soccer. So I think for me to combine my love of sport and writing a book about sport is awesome.
What are, I guess, some of the challenges that you've faced, not only as a creative and a writer, but as a proud queer and First Nations person as well?
I guess in all aspects of my life, I've had to experience homophobia and racism, and sometimes those things can intersect as well. And so that has led me to having a complicated relationship with a lot of things. Unfortunately, a complicated relationship with sport, even though a loving relationship with sport as well, and also a complicated relationship with other aspects of my life.
You write really passionately about the need to acknowledge land, particularly with sporting teams, and something that the AFL did recently on the AFL app was actually replace the names of the stadiums and ovals to the traditional country name. How does that make you feel, and do you think that acknowledgement goes far enough, or could there be more that could be done? There always is, but
to have those traditional place names front and centre for, it's a conversation starter to have those names on people's tongues, in their mouths, and to be like, hey, I'm going to go watch a match, not in Melbourne, but I'm going to go watch a match in Naarm this weekend, or I'm going to watch a match in Bolu, not Perth. I think it's a fantastic step to acknowledging that we're playing on Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander land. We could be thinking about, what, the stories of that place and the people that those stories belong to, and how we are supporting that past, present and future.
Where can people find it?
Well, you can find it in all good bookstores or at the University of Queensland Press website.